Hello dear friends. I'm going to talk about being alone or being lonely even when you're not alone. I'd love you to stay and chat. If you're wondering about the cap, this is the day before hairdresser due. Covers up the grey hairs, covers up the fact that my hairs needs a wash, and doing the trick, I hope. I hope everyone's fine, and thank you all for supporting my channel. And if there's anyone new here today, I hope you'll come back again and again and you'll enjoy my videos. Now, I hear a lot of people talking just recently on YouTube. There are quite a few channels on solo living and living alone and the pros and cons of it. I don't live alone. I have a partner. And when I retired 6 years ago, there was actually no difference in my life at all, because my husband Peter has always been at home. He works from home. And even before that, when we went overseas for 3 years to work, we worked together. We worked on estates as he worked as a chauffeur and a butler, and I worked as the cook and housekeeper, and I'll actually make a video about that sometime. It's probably quite a good story, a few laughs there. We were together 24 hours a day, and I don't recall wishing that I could be alone. Maybe the answer is to give each other alone time, because I am hearing from a lot of my friends who obviously are retiring about the same time as I am, that they just can't stand being claustrophobic with this person around them all the time, who's asking them what they're doing next. What are your plans for the day? I'm going to the shops. Can I come with you? Now, I don't know, maybe because we've been together in the home such a lot for such a long time that we didn't have any adjustments to make. So I don't know, maybe those adjustments are difficult. But as an example, I don't make breakfast or lunch as a sort of a sit-down meal. I either intermittent fasting, or I grab some cereal and chop up some fruit in it and yogurt, and I'll go and sit outside in the patio and catch a bit of sun, perhaps listen to a podcast, do a little bit of meditation, but I'm on my own. And Peter will get his breakfast when he's ready for it. I don't ask him if he's had breakfast. I just know that eventually probably about 10 o'clock or so, he will have had something. And at lunchtime as well, I might be going out for lunch. I might be meeting a friend. I don't leave any lunch for him. I don't look to see that there's anything prepared for him. He, just like I would if I were here on my own, sorts himself something out for lunch. Sandwich, whatever. At night we come together and share a meal. It's just sort of something that we like doing. And obviously if I'm out or he's out, then we don't. So, nothing's carved in stone. But we share a meal and we have a glass or two of wine and we chat and we watch the news for a while, and maybe an episode of a series that we've been watching. But that's sort of our time. Now, I'm sounding like we're not together all day, but there's nothing nicer than when I'm pottering around doing something and I hear, "Are you ready for some coffee?" "Yes, please." and there he is carrying 2 cups of coffee out to the patio and finding a nice sunny spot for us to sit in. Sometimes we drink our coffee, sort of maybe quite quietly, say a couple of things to each other, comment on maybe something that's different happening in the garden. Another time a subject will come up, and eventually I'll say to him, we've been sitting here for an hour, I'm going back to do what I was doing. Maybe you should too. So do you see, we're not living by rules. I think that is the danger. I think that is the danger of when we get older. We start to get quite rigid and we start living by the rules. As long as I'm not planning breakfast and lunch, nobody can look at me and say, oh, God, goodness, it's 1:45. Surely you're not going out now, are you? It's almost our lunchtime. Not going to happen. It hasn't happened up until now, and it's not going to happen. Even dinners. We're quite naughty. We eat late. We shouldn't. I know it's unhealthy and all the rest, but I don't have anybody saying to me, babe, it's 7 o'clock. Are we not going to have supper tonight? No. We'll have supper when we have supper. Isn't that maybe the answer, to keep from getting rigid in our old age? I have a friend who, probably not going to believe this, goes out and buys her husband a fresh roll every day from the bakery for his lunch. Comes back and makes it and makes sure that it's ready with his tea, which he likes brewed in a special way in a teapot by 1 o'clock. Now you see, this is where all these problems come in of, I can't bear retirement. I can't bear us both being in the same house. And this is where the people who are making the videos saying, solo life is so good. And I'm absolutely sure that the ones who are living a solo life are really making the most of it, and it is good. And I can see by their videos that they're fulfilled and they're happy and they're at peace. But it is possible to be in the home with somebody 24/7 and be at peace. If Peter walks out onto the patio at any time of the day, I don't have a meditation time, and I just got my head back and my eyes closed, I'll just feel his presence, and then I'll feel him walk away again. He's respected my alone time. Maybe that's what we need to do. Just start putting boundaries in place. It's just respecting each other's boundaries. And the opposite side to that coin, which I'm sure we all know people who live this way, is couples who live together and are so lonely in their own homes because they've never really learned to live together harmoniously, to respect each other's different times and different needs. I sit in a restaurant and I watch a couple sitting opposite each other on their phones. And I think, well, why didn't you just have something to eat at home? You could have at least watched TV while you were eating, because you look pretty bored and lonely now. It's a fine, fine balance. It's for us to find that balance. And maybe also be brave enough to talk to each other about things that we're not happy about. When I go out with my friends, Peter doesn't phone me and check up on me and ask me when I'm coming home. But I have discovered, though, that he worries about me. He worries if I'm safe in the car, perhaps, if it's already dark, and our roads are notorious for having no street lights, and worrying about me coming home. So I have started to phone him when I'm out and say to him, "Hi, just telling you I'm still here with Sharon, enjoying a glass of wine, see you in a bit." So I've started to do that. I feel better doing that. I don't feel controlled by someone phoning to check up on me. And he feels better knowing that I'm safe. So, so many ways to do these things. And I've enjoyed chatting to you about it, and I'm going to enjoy reading your comments on how you live with your partner, your husband, wife, or alone. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're still here now, wow, thank you. Bye for now.